D student is dead after a plane they were piloting crashed in Trail County. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it happened around 8:30 last night near the town of Buxton. Troopers say the plane went down in a farm field near 11th Street and 165th Avenue Northeast.
They say the pilot was pronounced dead at the scene, but his name is being withheld until all of his family is notified. The FAA is investigating along with the Highway Patrol. The plane was owned by UND. Also breaking this morning out of Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz has just announced he will run for re-election in 2022. And he says he'll once again run with Peggy Flanagan as his running mate.
Walz says during the unprecedented challenges of the past 2 years, he has seen Minnesotans from all walks of life come together to fight the virus, save lives, and get the state on the path to recovery. He says he and Flanagan are not done with their work yet, and they're excited to continue the fight.
New this morning, a 2-alarm fire forced the evacuation of Dakota Specialty Milling in North Fargo. The call came in just before 8 last night about a fire in a large commercial oven at 4014 15th Avenue North. Crews found heavy smoke outside and then fire inside a 100-foot grain dryer.
The flames had also moved into dryer vents and then into a nearby wall. A second alarm was called because the fire was in a large building with crews operating in zero visibility. There is no cause or a damage estimate out yet this morning. A teenager from the Southern Valley is in critical condition after sliding into a tractor and a chisel plow in Richland County. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the teen's back tire was hit by an SUV driven by Robert Albrecht of Mantador. That happened at the intersection north of Hankinson yesterday afternoon. The 16-year-old's car entered a ditch and then hit the chisel plow of the tractor that was tilling a field.
Albrecht's vehicle rolled several times in the ditch, but he was not seriously hurt. The teenager was airlifted to a Fargo hospital. The police report says charges are under investigation for both car drivers.
It is now 6:52 on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of that forecast. 46 degrees, and it's not going to get very warm today, Lisa, you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. You know, 46 is not a bad way to start on an October morning, but the problem is the cold front moving through right now. That's going to keep our temperatures from rising much today. And looking out in Fargo, we haven't quite seen the cold front move in yet. We do have some clouds as we look in the distance, but there's also a hint of clear sky where the sky is starting to brighten up a bit. Eventually, though, when the front moves through, those clouds will take over more and more. And that's already happening in places like Grand Forks, where we're at 49 degrees and seeing more clouds there. It's 46 in Fargo. Thief River Falls checking in at 48. A lot warmer over in Bemidji and Fergus Falls, where we're hanging on to 50 degrees. And then Devil's Lake, we've seen the clouds move in, we've seen the front move through, and we're at 45 degrees. So not frigid just yet, but we'll see that colder air follow, and then we'll just end up with a cold day today in much of the valley. So here's a look at the radar. Nothing to show you here. It's going to be a frontal passage that's on the dry side with clouds associated with it. And again, that wind shift and increase in winds too. So here's a look at our bus stop planner for today. We're going to experience some areas of sunny skies if you are in the south and east to start today. Otherwise, more on the cloudy side, temperatures into the 40s to some low 50s. Not bad, but look where we end up this afternoon. 40s and low 50s. It's going to be 53 degrees with cloudy conditions and windy weather as well. That wind out of the north picking up for it today. And here's a look at our forecast for our winds. We can expect to, if you're in the Southern Valley and the Eastern Valley, to see those winds not too strong at the early part of the day. But as we move through the midday and into the afternoon hours, we're watching that wind turn northerly, gusts into the 30s to near 40 potentially. We've already seen our peak gusts so far this morning at 36, and so we could see 40 into the noon hour and then into the afternoon as well. So we're looking at some pretty breezy conditions coming up for this afternoon. And then we look ahead to Thursday as well. We have a first alert weather day. A reminder, we're looking at the potential for a hard freeze. That means temperatures 28 degrees or below for several hours. Want to bring in your plants as we head into the overnight hours. And then just keep in mind that will likely be the end of the growing season. So we've got some big changes this week and conditions that are certainly changing this morning.
No kidding. Well, it's getting to be the end of October, so it was bound to happen.
We are, what, 2 weeks away from Halloween? So yeah,
Yep.
I think it's about time. Lisa, thank you.
New this morning, North Dakota Game and Fish want your help solving a poaching case near Castleton. They say this young buck was shot sometime last weekend at the Cass County Wildlife Gun Range.
If you have any information on the case, call authorities. You can remain anonymous and still be eligible for an award.
Dilworth police say crime has ramped up in their city this month. Police Chief Ty Sharp says while they have identified 2 suspects in the October 8th burglary of the Silver Spike Bar, more crimes followed. Last Wednesday, a Domino's pizza delivery car was stolen while the worker was delivering a pizza.
Then this weekend, Sharp says officers responded to 3 stolen cars and a half a dozen break-ins. He says those crimes are 100% opportunistic.
It's literally you've left your car open, you've left your keys in the car, you've left something of value in the car.
The police chief believes some of the same people were involved in those car break-ins over the weekend.
A man arrested after that deadly shooting in Castleton yesterday is out of jail. That came after a review of evidence, witness statements, and conferring with the Cass County State's Attorney's Office.
He's the person who called in that shooting early yesterday morning. The Cass County Sheriff's Office is planning a 2 p.m. news conference today to give us an update on the case. Just 13 intensive care unit beds remain available in the entire state of North Dakota this morning. Officials say hospitalizations are continuing to surge and patients are staying longer, but it's not all because of COVID-19.
From just getting sick or having heart attacks, strokes, and then you add on a layer of delayed care and they're really sick, and then you add this other segment of COVID-19 cases, and that's why we're in a pinch.
Officials at Sanford, Essentia, and All True say the tight bed space has forced them to have to turn away both local and out-of-state patients at times. But all 3 say they've always been prepared and have room for traumas and emergencies that may have to come through their doors. North Dakota is encouraging healthcare workers to return to the workforce. Providers are urging volunteers and individuals with healthcare experience to join the workforce during this unprecedented staffing shortage. The state has reinstated its temporary nurse aid registration process.
The State Board of Respiratory Care is also offering a 6-month temporary respiratory therapist license for those currently licensed in good standing in other states. Vitalant of Fargo says its blood supply is at critically low levels. 1,000 additional donors are needed a week to fulfill the patient need. The availability of type O blood, which is the most transfused blood type, has plummeted to under a 2-day supply.
The availability of type O blood, which is the most transfused blood type, has plummeted to under a 2-day supply. There is no waiting period to give blood after receiving a flu shot or a COVID vaccine. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is pitching vaccination incentives for kids. Children ages 12 to 17 will now be eligible for a $200 gift card if they are fully vaccinated by November 30th.
Now that program is also giving away $100,000 scholarships, 5 of them in total. In our consumer alert this morning, Walmart is bringing back its month-long Deals for Days in November. Instead of just one sale that traditionally happens on Thanksgiving or Black Friday, there will be 3 different events online and in stores. The first sale starts online November 3rd and then in stores on November 5th.
The second sale is November 10th online and November 12th in stores. And the third sale is TBD. Walmart is spacing out its Black Friday deals for a 2nd straight year since stores will be closed on Thanksgiving because of the pandemic. Walmart Plus members can start shopping 4 hours ahead of the scheduled online time.
Amazon is adding 150,000 seasonal jobs this year. The jobs are available across the U.S. with an average starting pay of $18 an hour.
The company says sign-on bonuses of up to $3,000 and an added $3 per hour will be offered, depending on the work hours in many locations. Apple users can say goodbye to the Touch Bar. The company's new MacBooks are dropping the component that was first introduced back in 2016. As well as other unpopular features.
The company also unveiled new computer chips inside the MacBook Pros. They promise better performance, and rounding out its product unveiling yesterday, they have a new generation of AirPods. They're apparently sweat and water resistant.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 29% of people say they do not know this about their partner.
Well, the answer this morning is their favorite salad dressing. That is very specific.
Very specific, a little tricky. It makes you think, though. Now you're going to ask your spouse before you head out the door.
Salads for supper. All right, the Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Find us on the Fargo CW.